Imagine believing that your only chance at a better life, no passport, no ticket, no guarantee of survival, only hope. "11 days. Across the Sahara, a journey between life and death. Every year, thousands of people enter the Sahara Desert with one dream: to reach Europe. Some make it, some turn back, and some are never seen again. The Sahara is not just sand. It is heat, thirst, fear, smugglers, robbers, and choices no human being should ever have to make. This documentary is based on the real experiences of migrants who cross the Sahara Desert. To protect privacy, some names have been changed. The name Kwame is used to represent one young Ghanaian man and the journey of many who risked everything for a better life. In 2005, Kwame and his friends made a decision that would change their lives forever. They were young. They had dreams. They wanted work. They wanted opportunity. They wanted a future bigger than what life had given them. For them, Europe sounded like hope. But flying to Europe was almost impossible. The visa process was difficult. The cost was too high. And those who promised to help legally often demanded money they did not have. So they chose another path, the cheaper path, the dangerous path, the path through Niger, across the Sahara Desert, and into Libya. From there, they believed they could continue toward Europe. But what they did not know was that before Europe, before Libya, before any dream could come true, they first had to survive the desert. Before leaving, Kwame and the others prepared what little they could. They carried plastic gallons filled with water. They packed sugar. They packed gari, a dry food made from cassava. It was simple food. But in the desert, even simple food can mean survival. They were told the journey would be hard, but nobody could truly explain what the Sahara does to a person. At first, there was hope. The group moved together. Some talked about the jobs they would find. Some talked about helping their families. Some imagined sending money home. Others stayed quiet, watching the endless sand ahead. The first day was difficult. The second day was worse. By the third day, the excitement had started to disappear. The sun rose like fire. The sand burned beneath their feet. There were no trees, no shade, no villages. Only wind, dust, and silence. Every step took energy. Every breath dried the throat. The water they carried became more valuable than money. People drank carefully, small sips, just enough to keep walking. But the desert does not care how carefully you plan. Day after day, the water became less. The food became less. And the journey felt longer than anyone expected. By the middle of the trip, people were no longer talking about Europe. They were talking about water. They were talking about survival. Some began walking slower. Some became dizzy. Some sat down and struggled to stand again. The smugglers pushed the group forward. They could not stop for long. In the Sahara, stopping can be a death sentence. Then came the moment everyone feared. The water was finished. The gallons were empty. People shook their bottles, hoping for one last drop. But there was nothing. The sun was still above them, the desert still stretched ahead, and their bodies were beginning to fail. For hours they walked with dry mouths and cracked lips. Some people could barely speak. Others started to lose strength. Then someone did something nobody ever wants to do. He took an empty plastic bottle. He urinated into it, and he drank. At first, others looked away. But when thirst becomes unbearable, shame disappears. Soon, more people did the same. Not because they wanted to, not because it was safe, but because the body will do almost anything to stay alive. This was not the dream they had imagined. This was not the Europe they had heard about. This was survival at its most painful. But thirst was not the only danger. In parts of the route, robbers waited. Some hid near rocky areas and desert mountains. They knew migrants passed through with money hidden in shoes, pockets, waistbands, or bags. When they attacked, they showed no mercy. They stopped the group. They searched everyone. They forced people to remove their clothes. They took money, phones, food, anything they could find. And for those who had nothing, the danger became even worse. Because in that place, having no money did not always protect you. Sometimes it made you a target. Some migrants were beaten. Some were threatened. Some never continued the journey. Kwame watched people lose everything they had carried from home. Money saved by families, money borrowed from friends, money meant to buy a better future, gone in minutes. And still, they had to keep walking. But the most heartbreaking moment of the journey came when one woman began to collapse. She was traveling with her son. Like many others, she had believed the journey would lead to a better life. But the desert had taken almost all her strength. Her steps became slow, then slower. Then she could barely move. Her son stayed beside her. He tried to help her walk. He encouraged her. He begged her to stand. But her body was giving up. The rest of the group kept moving. The smugglers did not want to stop. In the desert, every delay is dangerous. The young man looked ahead and saw the group disappearing. Then he looked back at his mother. She was weak, exhausted, almost unable to speak. He was trapped between two impossible choices. If he stayed with her, they could both die. If he left her, she might die alone. No son should ever face that decision. But the Sahara forces people into moments where love and survival collide. Finally, someone told him the truth he did not want to hear. "If you stay here, you will both die." The young man cried. He tried to lift her again, but he could not carry her across the desert. The group was moving farther away, and in the end, he ran. He ran after the group, not because he did not love his mother, but because he wanted to live. That moment stayed with everyone who saw it. Because the desert does not only take lives, sometimes it forces survivors to carry guilt for the rest of their lives. After days of hunger, thirst, fear, and exhaustion, Kwame and some of the others finally reached the area near Libya. They were alive, but they were not the same people who had left Ghana. Their bodies were weak, their clothes were dirty, their faces were burned by the sun. Some friends were missing, some had been left behind, some had died, and those who survived carried memories they could never forget. But even reaching Libya did not mean freedom. As they got closer to town, they were stopped by Libyan desert patrols. They were arrested. For many migrants, Libya became another nightmare. Some were detained, some were beaten, some were forced to work, some were sent back. Others tried again and continued toward the Mediterranean Sea, where another deadly journey waited. For Kwame, the Sahara had already taught him a lesson no classroom could teach. The dream of Europe had almost cost him everything. He had seen hunger, thirst, violence, death. And the kind of pain that changes a person forever. Many people who hear stories like this ask one question: why would anyone take such a risk? The answer is not simple. People do not enter the Sahara because they love danger. They do it because they feel trapped. They do it because they want work. They do it because their families depend on them. They do it because they believe that somewhere beyond the desert, life will finally become better. Hope can be powerful, but hope without safe opportunities can become dangerous. Kwame's story is not just about migration. It is about desperation. It is about poverty. It is about dreams. It is about the price people are willing to pay when they believe they have no other choice. For many of us, the Sahara is just a desert on a map. But for thousands of Africans, it is a place where dreams are tested, where friendships are broken, where families are separated, where some people lose their lives before the world ever knows their names. And yet, even in the middle of suffering, the human spirit remains powerful. People share their last water. They help strangers walk. They pray together. They cry together. They keep moving when every part of the body wants to stop. That is what makes these stories important. Not because they are easy to hear, but because they remind us that behind every migrant is a human being, a mother, a son, a daughter, a friend, someone with dreams, someone with fear, someone who wanted a better future. Kwame survived the Sahara, but many did not, and his story leaves us with one powerful lesson. A better life should never have to begin with a journey through death. No dream should force a person to choose between thirst, violence, and survival. And no family should have to lose someone in the desert simply because they were searching for hope. If this story touched you, please take a moment to like this video. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe to the channel for more true documentaries that educate, inspire, and reveal the strength of the human spirit. Because every story has a lesson, and every lesson has the power to change a life. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next documentary.